of your boss.
Asked him to stop being a pirate, and he would grant them pardon. A pirate being a pirate, they refused that, so they kept saying. So the governor of Virginia, he got word of Blackbeard and his men, and he put together a navy ship with Lieutenant Robert Maynard to serve as captain of that ship.
And I know that you have a crew, so I respect that. And
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
stay here and listen to it again. Is that okay?
Yes, that is fine.
And the part about Blackbeard, when he showed it, I would love to get a video, maybe 40 seconds worth, when you talk about that.
Well, whatever part of my story you feel like videotaping, have fun. Okay?
Just for a few seconds.
That's no problem. No problem.
And you are fantastic.
Oh,
Oh my
thank you.
gosh. Yeah.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
good.
you.
Hello.
This everyone? Is there some more still on the talk to me?
Hey, sit
Hi,
down.
how are you? What's happening?
Hey, I'm cool. This is your first time here?
Yes, it is.
Well, welcome to my beautiful home.
Well, thank
You
you.
are so welcome.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Well, good afternoon, guys, and welcome to Blackbeard's Castle. My name is Tony, and I am your first historical tour guide here at Blackbeard's Castle. This is Edward Teach, better known to us as Blackbeard. But as we know it, Edward Teach was just an alias name. You see, back in those days, the pirates, they never used their real names. And the reason for that is so they wouldn't bring shame to the family name. This is why they all had aliases. He was born in 1680 in Bristol, England. He stood at 6'4", weighed 248 pounds. He carried 8 pistols, 4 on each side, a musket, and a machete. Those pigtails on each side of his head, those are actually hemp ropes. Before he went to war or captured another ship, he stuck those into molasses, then gunpowder. Then he lights them on fire, making his face look like it's actually on fire. That way, he would scare off all his enemies and he wouldn't have to go to war with them. We know he got the name Blackbeard because of his beard, right? Long, dark, black beard that covered most of his face. But as you can see, his beard are braided 18 times. Well, that's because he had 18 wives. Oh, man. Under every one of those braids, there's a red ribbon. The red ribbons are to serve as a trophy. Why? Well, because at the end of every honeymoon, he killed all his wives. He had a good reason. Would you like to know?
Yeah.
To avoid child support and alimony. He terrorized the Caribbean seas from Jamaica all the way to England. In the year 1716 is when he became known to the world as Blackbeard the Pirate. 2 years after becoming a pirate, the governor of North Carolina sent word to Blackbeard and his men, asking them to stop being a pirate, and he would grant them pardon. Well, a pirate being a pirate, they refused that offer and kept sailing. So the governor of Virginia, he got word of Blackbeard and his men, and he put together a navy ship with Lieutenant Robert Maynard to serve as captain of that ship. Well, Maynard was no fool. Maynard knew in order for him to capture Blackbeard, he had to have a plan. Well, Maynard's plan was to take a quarter of his men and hide them under his ship. And at his command, they will all come rushing up, surprising Blackbeard and his men. That way, when Blackbeard saw Maynard's ship, it looked like he wasn't carrying a full crew. So Blackbeard and his men believed that they can easily overpower and take control of that ship. Blackbeard's ship, the Queen Anne Revenge, that had 20 cannons on it. Lieutenant Maynard's ship, that only had 9. As the two ships got within firing range of each other, Blackbeard opened fire, striking Lieutenant Maynard's ship, wounding and killing at least 20 of his men. When Blackbeard saw the damage that he had done, he ordered his men to pull the ship side to side, where him and his men leaped aboard Lieutenant Maynard's ship. Now, the minute they came aboard Maynard's ship, he gave the signal. And those guys that was hidden under the ship, they all came rushing up, surprising Blackbeard and his men. And to a surprise they were. Now, aboard Maynard's ship, there were sword fights and there were gun fights. They say the bloodshed aboard that ship was so much that the men kept slipping and sliding all throughout that blood. When finally, Blackbeard and Lieutenant Maynard came face to face with each other for the very first time. There they are, staring each other down. Blackbeard with the gritting of his teeth and growling noise. Arr! Arr! Cause he's ready to kill Lieutenant Maynard. Maynard, on the other hand, he had the cold sweat, he had the shaking of his knees, the butterflies in his stomach, because he's facing Blackbeard. And he's heard so many bad stories about Blackbeard. And he is so very much afraid of him, like every other man that ever heard the name Blackbeard spoken before. When suddenly, Blackbeard yelled out, "Arr!" and attacked Lieutenant Maynard. Maynard then drew his pistol. Then he shot Blackbeard one time, but that never stopped him. Blackbeard would still continue to fight. It would take more than one shot to bring Blackbeard down to his knees. Then suddenly, Lieutenant Maynard drew his sword and engaged Blackbeard in a sword fight. Now, there they are, the two captains in the middle of the ship, engaging in a sword fight, while all their men gathers around them to see which of their captain is going to be victorious and which one will suffer the hands of their feet. When suddenly Blackbeard with his machete, with one strong powerful blow, breaks Lieutenant Maynard's sword in half. And just as Blackbeard is moving in for the kill, one of Maynard's men slashed him on his neck, cutting him on his jugular. Now, Blackbeard is bleeding. He's losing a lot of blood rapidly, but he still continues to fight. He doesn't realize how serious the wound on his neck is, but he still continues to fight. Then suddenly, he got weak from the loss of blood. He staggered back, drew his pistol. Then Blackbeard fell to his death. When all his men saw that their fearless leader had now fallen to his death, they all dropped their weapons and jumped overboard yelling, "We surrender! We surrender!" Lieutenant Maynard proudly stood on Blackbeard's chest, took a deep breath, looked around at all his men in glory, took that broken sword of his, raised it as high as he could. Then he chopped Blackbeard's head off. Then they tossed it overboard, his body. Then everyone witnessed a headless Blackbeard body swam 3 times around the ship before the body. See, I know you would have laughed. You struggled. Let me tell you something. I was there. I know what I saw. And I saw that happen. Okay? Thank you. Then they took his head, tied it to the bow of the ship, where they say the last thing Blackbeard had ever did was winked his eye. I didn't see that one. Then they set sail to Virginia, where they would collect the reward for the capture of Blackbeard and 10 of his men. 9 of his men was found guilty of piracy, and they all were sentenced to death by hanging, all except one. The reward that was offered for the head of Blackbeard was 100 pounds. Before Maynard collected the reward, he took a spear to the point of the harbor, stuck it in the ground, took Blackbeard's head and placed it on that spear. So that would be a lesson to all the other pirates, that this too shall happen to you. One life they spared. Why? Was it because he was the cook and had never been a pirate a day of his life? Or was it because he was the deckhand? See no evil, hear no evil, nor speak no evil. Or better yet, man. Or maybe it was that guy that had only one eye and a wooden leg.
Oh.
You are my guest. Tell me.
Let's get practical.
What?
One eye and the
I
wooden
called on you hoping that you wouldn't say that.
leg. The one eye and the wooden leg.
Yes, thank you. Everybody picks the cook, and I don't know why. You see, you told me you was eating a lot of food on that ship. That's why. Yeah, that's okay. I understand. I'll let you slide this time. They spared that one guy his life. They let him live to see the next day. So he can tell me that story. And I can share with you that story. Legend has it, when Blackbeard's body washed ashore, he had over 27 stab wounds and 5 gunshot wounds on his body. He died at the age of 38. He died November 22nd, 1718. And that is the history of Blackbeard. Ah!
Woo!